morning and welcome to a rather chilly start here at Anglesey for the Lee Holland stages in Wales for round 6 of the Motorsport News Circuit Rally Championship. After unfortunately having to cancel Donington just a couple of weeks ago, I think everybody was hoping for a much better day today. One man that has particularly benefited from Donington being cancelled is John Stone, who's managed to get his car sorted and he's back out with Jack Morton to tackle today's stages. So it'll be interesting to see how our crews handle these tricky weather conditions today. Paul, over to you.
So local driver Will Owen leads the crews away out of the blocks, but all eyes will be on that championship title fight in the following positions. Onto the opening stage of the rally then, and it would be the lead for Alan Kirkcaldy and Cameron Fair. The bad weather had stopped them competing in the R5 car previously, so the snow wouldn't have been a welcome sight this morning. Thankfully though, the conditions on the stage itself will be okay, just a few slippery sections to watch out for. It will be second place at this stage for Peter Smith and John Millington. A great start to the rally for the pair, making the most of the weather to edge out that advantage over the two-wheel drive crews chasing hard behind. As well as the fight at the top though, eyes would be on the championship's overall battle. And it would be championship leaders Chris West and Keith Hounslow in third place this morning, struggling a little to get settled into the stages. Perhaps a lack of four-wheel drive was part of that problem. They lie a few seconds back from Smith. No such problems for John Stone and Jack Morton. They would be counting themselves lucky though from the start of the rally. Problems at Snetterton meant that they were due to miss Donington, but with the snow forcing the rally to be cancelled, it gave them time to get the car ready in time for this weekend. No dropped round in the end. They make a good start to the rally to lie in fourth place for now. And just behind Stone were Colin Gemmell and Derek Kerr, the escort pair lying second in the D1 class at this stage too, as well as fifth place on our leaderboard. Brian Watson and Sean Donnelly had been having a good run, fourth place after the opening stage, but a spin on stage 2 would cost them some time, putting them down to sixth place overall. Still good, but they had some time to make up now if they were to make good on that mistake. Meanwhile, it will be a good start for Eric Roberts and Paul Morris, leading the way in Class C at this stage, as well as 7th place overall. And for Nigel Gibbard and Simon Rogers, it will be 8th place, just a single second back from Roberts, but not fighting in the same class this weekend. Still, a little bit of red mist settling in, surely. For Dane Walker and Dave Boys, it will be second place in that Class C fight behind Roberts. 12 seconds of a difference in the class, so it was all to play for still to make up that deficit. And rounding out our top 10 were Kathy Seward and Colin Stevens, likely gaining a bit of an advantage with road position, but the times were looking good nonetheless, perhaps down to the new pink wheels on the Sunbeam. Sadly, it wouldn't be good news or indeed pink wheels for everyone. We lose John Marshall and Scott Crawford. They break a drive shaft, limping their way to retirement. This weekend would see the return of Paul O'Neill, former touring car driver, and Motorsport News editor Jack Benyon to the stages in that Paul Sheard MX-5. They lie just outside the top 10 leaderboard with 11th, as well as leading the way in Class B. For Gethin Thomas and Thomas Williams, it will be the lead in Class A, just a few seconds back on the overall times from O'Neill as well. And it will be a bit of a slower start to the event than Mike Taylor and Martin Haggett would have wanted. They end the morning's opening stages with 13th place overall, 4th in the D1 class. Meanwhile, the D2 class was looking competitive this weekend with the cold, slippery conditions, and it would be 5th place in that class for Derek Blythe and Neil Coleman, lying in 14th place on the leaderboard. Mark Kelly and Andy Baker didn't quite get the start that they'd have wanted, ending the opening stages of the day with 15th place overall, just getting into the top of the D1 class with 5th place. For Chris McCallum and Richard Stewart, it would be 4th in Class C. They had a bit of a gap between them and their class rivals up ahead, But that wasn't putting them off. It certainly wasn't knocking the confidence. And of course, it could all change in the next few stages. Just behind McCallum in the class were Tony Reid and Helen Russell, 5th in Class C for now, 20th on the leaderboard. Dion Rowlands and Kai Daniel would have a little way to go to catch up in Class A, but it wasn't stopping them trying either, with our leaders there settling into 13th place overall for these guys who will be 2nd in the class, but also watching out behind. Because chasing them down for that class position was this pairing, David McMullen and Mark Melhush. 3rd place in the class, only 7 seconds the deficit, so that result could easily change around in the next loop of stages. Things were going well though for this man Aaron Ricks with Rob Cook alongside. 4th place in the class at this stage and 27th on our leaderboard. And it would be a good start to the rally for Ashley Morris and Phil Kenny. 2nd place in Class B was theirs after 2 stages. A good way back from Paul O'Neill in that class lead, so they were just fighting off the rest. For Calvin Woods and Connor Aspie, it would be 5th place in Class A. The Lupo crew also lying in 31st on our leaderboard. And for Robert Jones and Johnny Knight, it will be 3rd place in Class B. Almost a minute back from Ashley Morris in the class, so her position was looking safe at least for now. So we are 2 stages down here at a wintry Anglesey. Signs of snow on the stages themselves looks to be gone now. Would that change though the results as we head into the next of the day's stages? On to the 2nd loop of the day then. There'll be no change for Alan Kirkcaldy and Cameron Fair. They maintain their lead at the top of the leaderboard in that R5 Fiesta.
Keep right, to split right, to medium left tightens, and 90 right off camber. To medium right and chicane right entry, 3 bales. And fast right up the hill. To 90 left. And 90 right. To 90 right long. And keep left, split left. To 90 left. To fast left. Into the jump and hairpin left. Into 90 right and 90 right. Into medium right onto the straight. On to 90 left. Into 90 hairpin right.
A little bit tricky out there for the first stage. How have you found the rest of the day so far?
Yeah, so far it's been really good. It's a new car to learn, but the conditions this morning were actually a lot better than it looked out there, so it's been good so far.
No change either for Peter Smith and John Millington. Still 2nd overall at this stage. The 2-wheel drive crews not getting the better of them just yet, despite the conditions changing and becoming more favourable for those rear-wheel drive cars throughout the day, and indeed the front-wheel drive ones too. Someone moving the right way up the leaderboard though was John Stone with Jack Morton alongside in this pair of stages. Moving up to that final step on the podium in fact, although they'd have some work to do in service, the bumper falling off the car as they come into the time control at the end of the stage. Someone has been pushing.
Oh dear, what happened there, John?
Oh, just trying too hard. Old man trying too hard. But no, it was good. We just had a bit of an understeering moment, that's all. But it didn't cost us too much time.
That move for Stone, of course, means a move for Chris West and Keith Hounslow. Talking of front-wheel drive, 1st place in their class still and leading the 2-wheel drive crews, but now from 4th place on the leaderboard.
Not the most amazing conditions today. It looks like you've had a bit of a run-in with something.
Yeah, no, we had a small off on the last stage, something I don't like doing, so I'm thoroughly annoyed, but you know, it happens. It's very slippy. I will try some different tyres which I've never tried on the car before, and they just didn't work, so we had to take a little learning curve really there, but you know, hopefully that was a bit better, but we'll see. You know, I'm here to the end of the championship, and there's 2 more rounds left, so I just got to get to the end.
Times will be looking good now though for Nigel Gibbard and Simon Rogers. They move the right way up the leaderboard to lie in 5th place at this stage, 2nd in the D1 class behind West as well, although the gap was 30 seconds.
Great to see another Darien. Are you having fun out there?
Yeah, it is quite funny. Yeah, first thing was. Yeah, we're going pretty good now, but I had a spin on the corner over there, which. Other than that, yeah, it's going all right.
So it will be a place lost for Colin Gemmell and Derek Kerr. They slipped down to 6th place overall, 3rd in the class now behind the Darien pair. But things were improving dramatically. For Sam's tip for this year's championship, Mark Kelly, Andy Baker, they pushed themselves right up the results now into 7th place overall, as well as 4th in the D1 class.
So what were them tyres like this morning? Was it the right choice? Or?
No, definitely not. At the first 3 stages, 2 tyre mistakes really, which cost us a lot of time. Who knows? I mean, we come onto the circuit stage 1 and all the snow had gone. It's just like a wet stage. Right. So you're thinking we need to be on wets. A lot better 2nd stage, 3rd stage. It was drying out, so we have a bit of making up to do, but we're trying. So we'll see what we can do.
And the same could be said for Mike Taylor and Martin Haggett. Progress the right way, ending the morning with 8th place overall, 5th in that class behind Kelly.
It's not quite the same weather as Snetterton, is it?
Very, very different. Very slippery, great conditions for us, loving it. But the only problem is with no tyres. Right. I just flat spotted one Mentos and we can't buy any new ones. I flat spotted one my slicks, I can't buy any new ones, they've all changed. So I've now got to go and spend £3 on 2 sets of tyres. So, not happy.
Derek Blythe and Neil Coleman were still going well in the D2 class. The loss of Brian Watson from the results would see them taking 4th in the class for now, as well as 9th on the leaderboard. And we see a new face in 10th, with Ciro Carinanti and Simon Coates rounding out the top 10 at this stage in that rather unique Porsche Cayman. So with the rally reaching the midway point, the stage is drying out and the positions swapping hands, the afternoon would certainly be all to play for here at the penultimate round at Anglesey. On to the final stages and the final results then, and a look at those who finished. And sadly for Paul O'Neill and Jack Benyon, they would drop from their class lead. They would though be finishers, instead ending the rally with 3rd place in the class as well as 30th on the leaderboard. For Robert Jones and John Knight, it will be 2nd in that class. A good result for the pair as they gain a position in the class with the misfortunes of O'Neill. For Calvin Woods and Connor Aspey, it will be 5th place in Class A to end the rally. No change to that result since this morning's stages. Consistency, the story of the day for this pair, ending the day with 26th overall. And it had been a great weekend for Ashley Morris and Phil Kenny, keeping things neat and tidy to end the rally with a Class B victory. The Fiesta pairing also taking a well-deserved 24th place overall. For Andrew Morris and Chloe Thomas, though, it would be 5th place in Class C, the class taking a bit of a shake-up through the afternoon. There'd be no change, though, to the class position for this man, Aaron Ricks. Rob Cook as well, 4th place in that class at the end of the rally, 22nd overall. And 4th place in Class C would belong to Tony Reid and Helen Russell. Times through the afternoon would see them keep hold of that position. Not only that, taking 21st overall. For David McMullen and Mark Malhouche, it will be 3rd in Class A. A good podium finish in the class to end the rally this weekend with 20th overall. For Dion Rowlands and Kai Daniel, it will be 2nd place in Class A. They were a little way off the class lead, but it didn't matter. The result was a strong one. There's change in the D2 class through the afternoon stages, which sees Ross Leach and Oshin Owen moving up to take 5th place in the class, as well as 17th place on our leaderboard. and they may have dropped out of the top 10, but it would still be a very, very good finish for Kathy Stewart and Colin Stevens. Third place in Class C to end the rally, as well as 16th overall. Kathy over the moon with that result. No problems to report throughout the rally for Gethin Jones and Thomas Williams. They take the Class A victory this weekend, a good advantage in the class, and taking 14th place overall as well. For Chris McCallum and Richard Stewart, meanwhile, it will be second place in Class C to end the penultimate round. A good place to finish as well, taking 13th place overall. Dane Walker and Dave Boyce, another pair having a good run this weekend, taking the Class C victory despite the weather. A good end to the event and finishing just outside our top 10 overall in 11th. And talking of the top 10, here is our top leaderboard. It will be a 4th place in class finish for Derek Blythe and Neil Coleman. They round out the top 10 with that result as well. Carwyn Ellis and Edgar Jones make a late move inside our top 10 this afternoon, ending the rally with 9th place overall, 6th in their class. 5th in that class, and finishing just above them on the overall leaderboard were Colin Gemmell and Derek Kerr. They'd slipped down the results slightly, but still managed to hold on to a good result. This afternoon will be the first time that we see our reigning champions, Ian Woodhouse, with Jason Leaf alongside, putting in the top 10 times. They finally make it up the leaderboard to 7th place, 4th in the class by the end of the rally. It would be a good end to the rally for Nigel Gibbard and Simon Rogers, meanwhile. 3rd place in the D1 class, 6th place on the leaderboard for the pair. Mark Kelly and Andy Baker battle back through the results, salvaging a good finish this weekend, taking 5th place by the end of the rally, as well as a 2nd in class position as well. Frustratingly though for them, things didn't quite go to plan for John Stone and Jack Morton. The bumper, that had been the least of their worries. They'd been in line for a podium, but they get held up on a hairpin when the car in front stalls, blocking the way. 10 seconds lost, the pair dropping down to 4th place on the leaderboard, missing out on the podium places by a single second. So with that last-minute drama for Stone, that would hand the final podium position back to Chris West and Keith Hounslow. They take some good points away from this round, of course, the title firmly in everyone's mind by this point, and that means it's all the 306 maxi pairs to lose going into the next round at Cadwell Park in a few weeks' time. But with the championship battle being decided, the top 2 could concentrate on those overall results. And there would be no change to those positions, with Peter Smith and John Millington managing to hold on to that 2nd place to the finish. And of course, for the eagle-eyed of you, no surprise, it would be victory for Alan Kirkcaldy and Cameron Fair. A long time coming, but the debut in the new car loaned to them by Pete Smith had gone well as it possibly could, although the man who lent them the car might be thinking twice next time they take victory by 43 seconds from aforementioned man at the end of the rally. So the event complete. Here's a reminder of the final overall results. It's a great victory for Kirkcaldy, a 1-2 on the podium for Pete Smith's R5 Fiesta team.
Alan, you've had limited time in this car. What a result for you today.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. The first stages this morning, obviously conditions didn't look that good, but from then on it just got better and better and got a bit more used to the car, and it's been a great result for us both, really, and Peter.
I know, yeah. And what about you, Cameron? What about from your side?
Yeah, it's been a really good day, really challenging on the body. The G-forces in that car were just crazy, the braking and accelerating, but no, a great day, and thanks to Peter and everybody sorting out. It's been great. Always really enjoyed it.
Good, glad to hear it. Massive congratulations, well done guys. Peter, what a day for you. Great finish for you guys. Obviously 2 cars on the podium. What's it been like?
It's been really, really good. I can never quite catch him though, but you know, given that their combined age doesn't exceed my age, then you know it means that we've had a good run, and with John as well, 2 old-age pensioners. It's a good job that they did win us, isn't it? Because if we'd have beaten them, they would never lived it down. Especially Alan, because he can talk for Scotland, can't he?
Oh, brilliant! And what about from your side of the car, John? You enjoyed it as well?
Yes, the bit I've seen of it, yes, I've really enjoyed it. It's been fantastic, yeah. I'm glad the snow went though.
Yes, absolutely. Well, massive well done, guys. Congratulations. Thank you.
Before you go, a great big thanks to the marshals.
Yeah, especially the marshals.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because up at the top of that hill, it is not warm. So yeah, brilliant job by them guys.
And I can't say this crew costed rallies in the 70s together. So you know, it's not too bad, is it? Really? No. I got tired on one stage, but I was okay.
Another really good result for you today. John was giving you a bit of a run for your money at the end there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you know, he's definitely got a more powerful car, and we were just losing it on the straights. But on the last one, we just managed to just keep it. So yeah, over the moon. I've never been here before, so it was the first probably 3 stages for me was a big learning curve, and the merges and splits. There's so many of them here. There's, you know, it's quite confusing, especially for a co-drive. But no, Billy's done a fantastic job, and yeah, we're another on the podium. So we've been on the podium every round so far, so I can't complain at that.
No,
it's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely a bit more work for you today. How's it been?
Very interesting stages. Yeah, good to have something to do. A bit more than 2 laps of a circuit. So yeah, a lot of fun. Great.
Up next then, the crews hopefully leave behind the wintry conditions to head for spring in the Lincolnshire Wolds. The penultimate round of the championship takes place at Cadwell Park. And if you can possibly make it down to see the championship battles for yourself, then advance tickets are on sale right now. We will, of course, be there to bring you all of the action. For now though, thank you for watching Special Stage. We'll see you at Cadwell.